Hope is a 2 or 3 year old boxer, and I don't know officially where she's come from. However, the story on the grapevine is that she's come from a breeder, and she came to us so shut down and withdrawn. It can only have been caused from repeated abuse, which was such a sad case. When she first arrived, she was so terrified and petrified of everything. As soon as you put a lead on her, she just collapsed to the ground with her head on the ground and wanted the whole world to disappear. She was just so shut down. I don't think Hope's previous living conditions were focused around the benefit of Hope. I think they were focused around pumping out puppies.
Good girl. Good girl, darling. Good girl. Yeah.
So this one's so petrified she won't even walk. Very, very scared. Same again, she's just walking laps. This one won't walk at all. Just buries herself to the ground and won't move. So instead of dragging her or trying to pull her, just pick her up and carry her.
You okay? Hey, you got a few scars on you, darling. You got a few scars on you. Hey? Can we come over on a bit?
I don't think they've been outside of a dark corner of a backyard ever before.
This is so sad.
Yeah. It's a textbook puppy farm summer charity.
Gee, it's sad, isn't it? Sad that people would treat them like this.
Sit. 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 Sit.
It's a shame, like these guys aren't really young. Well, definitely she's not. But to not even sit means these guys are definitely just being puppy farm dogs. She's come here for a very different rehabilitation. She's come here for us to help her come out of her shell and learn to enjoy life again. So we haven't actually done any formal training with Hope because of the behaviour that she exhibits when you put her on a lead. She shuts down and closes off and doesn't want to, deal with the world. So she's obviously been through something so traumatic that it's triggering something for her. So for her, we just want her to be a dog again. It's a very different training approach for Hope than it is for the dogs that come here for aggression or antisocial behaviour.
Aww. That's cool. Look how happy they are.
Have you not been able to run around before?
It's like they have never run.
You run around before, darling. What a good girl. Good job. Good job.
Look at how happy they are.
I can see that she doesn't have a problem with trusting other dogs. She's got a big problem with trusting humans though. My approach is just encouraging social interactions, just giving her time after time positive interactions with other dogs and other people, and you know, she's really coming out of her shell. The other dogs being around helps Hope trust me and trust my staff. She's just keeps a distance, doesn't want anyone to come near her, really withdrawn and untrusting of humans. But now she's at the point where we can be walking through the bush and there's all these dogs around, and she comes up to me and wants to get the approval and affection from me now, which is such a big milestone from when she first came. She's really showing a lot of promise of forgetting her past and moving on. However, every now and again you can see that if she gets caught in a moment where the dogs run through the gate and she all of a sudden finds herself being the last dog, and then it's just a focus of me and her, you know, inviting her through the gate, she starts to hesitate. She starts to withdraw and go, oh, all the other dogs are gone and it's just me and a human, you know, and she starts to be a bit funny. Unfortunately, for cases like this, there is no substitute for time, and everything is on their terms and, you know, in their time frame. So you just have to facilitate something that's positive, safe and comfortable for them to want to come out of their shell in their own pace.
Good girl, come on. Yeah.
As far as the way that she's been performing, she's exceeded my original expectations. There's no easy way to gauge what this time frame is. They just start to make leaps forward and they impress you and go, oh wow, you're doing this now, this is amazing. So it's not like a formal training regime where I know I can get them to a certain level of performance or responsiveness at a certain time. This is purely all her. You know, all I'm doing is facilitating a safe environment for her to come out and relax. So it's all up to her. Hope has come to life. She's come out of her shell. She's a super energetic boxer. Loves getting involved in the games. Loves running through the paddock, chasing the quad bike with all the other dogs. Really awesome to see Hope be able to get past whatever her history was. Hope's just getting to the point where she's starting to learn the social interactions that she obviously missed out on in her previous life. So for her, she's already at a point where she's very social and happy to run around with the dogs and be a part of the pack and be close to us and take guidance from us, which is really promising. You know, we have her in the open paddock, she hangs out with us, she doesn't go wandering, she doesn't try to run away. She's doing all the things that I wanted her to do, and it is a relatively short period of time, which is fantastic. I don't know who the breeder is or what the conditions were, but she is still a young dog, which probably works in her favour here, based on the fact that it potentially was a shorter duration of abuse, and then now she's got quite a few years in front of her that she can learn to forget that. It's a really positive step forward that she's made this early on, and I'm really excited every time I go out there and see how happy she is running around. So for dogs like this, they can really go into a home at any stage. All they need is a loving, safe environment and they'll progress. they'll start to learn to trust that person. And for these guys, really going into a loving home would have been ideal, rather than coming here and learning to trust me, and then when they get rehomed having to learn to trust another person all over again. There were no homes or foster homes available, and she was very high needs, and the fact that she was so shut down. So she's ready for a home. She's just here to be shown love and to be shown a safe place and let her progress in her own time. In saying that, there's probably another 18 months to 2 years of being patient with her and letting her do things in her own time and picking up from her cues what she's comfortable with, what she isn't. It's a long process for these guys. She just needs a loving home that are going to be able to be patient with allowing her to trust them in their own time. So creating a safe space, not forcing your affection on her if she doesn't want it. She will want it soon enough. You know, she is a very affectionate dog. So ultimately, all she needs is a lot of love and a little bit of patience.
What a good man.
So it was obviously a very sad moment when Faith passed, but I feel it was very important to include hope in that. I know that I've seen in my past dogs that they got closure and understanding if they were in the room and experienced the event. And I needed Hope to see that and be a part of that, because she relied so heavily on Faith for her confidence and her ability to socialise. So sure enough, as I expected, Hope tried to connect with Faith afterwards and jumped up onto the lounge and lay down next to her, and we just gave her some time to process what had happened and deal with it in her own way. I needed her to understand rather than to always wonder where'd she go. I didn't want her to stress out. I wanted her to have closure, and it was effective because straight away that night, it's the first time we've seen Hope branch out from where she usually sleeps in the lounge room and jump up on the couch next to Fredo. And so she instantly started to find comfort in other dogs that she previously hadn't. So it was a good form of closure for her to start to move on. And I feel that it's going to allow Hope to break free of a little bit more of her past and start to make better connections with some of the dogs here and be a lot more independent and confident within herself. Given the dependence that Hope and Faith had towards each other, late in the afternoon when it was time to come inside, Hope instinctively started looking around for where's Faith. You know, it was just a habit that she had done every night that she was here. And usually, if Faith wasn't there and she didn't know what happened to Faith, that would start to kick off a little bit of stress, and she'd start to have some anxiety of where's Faith, I need to find her. But it was almost like she had a quick look around and then realised, oh yeah, that's right, Faith isn't here anymore, and then just came straight inside. And so she was able to let go. She was able to move forward quite quickly based on the fact that she had experienced the event. Very excited for Hope and the progress in her journey. She is showing so many good signs as far as making new friends, connecting with other dogs, being an integral part of the games and the activities that we're playing, coming more and more out of her shell every day and relaxing and enjoying being a dog. I'm starting to see all those stresses and anxieties and behaviours that we first observed start to wash away and disappear, which is a really positive sign that she's moving in the right direction.
Good girl. Good girl. Yeah.
We've actually really thought long and hard about Hope's situation, haven't we? We really do want what's best for her, and we feel like for her to be at a point of being confident and stable enough to leave the pack and leave the farm might be quite some time.
Yeah.
We've decided to open our home to Hope permanently, so that this is now their home and their family.
Hope's still a very young dog and she's got a long life ahead of her, and so we're very grateful that we were able to help her on her rehabilitation journey so that she can enjoy the rest of her life and live life for what it should be. We're hoping that the balance of a long, happy life will help her forget that she had such a rough start.